Hello children, let us start the unit 13th of organic chemistry, that is hydrocarbons. First, meaning of term hydrocarbons. As the name suggests, compounds containing hydrogen and carbon only. So hydrocarbon are the organic compounds contain only carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbons, they play a very important role in our daily life. Like hydrocarbons, they are used as fuel. In the form of fuel, we use CNG, LPG, LNG, compressed natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, liquefied natural gas, petrol, diesel, kerosene oil, then coal gas. So all these are used as industrial fuel or domestic fuel or used for automobile industries. So very important role in the form of fuel. Next, we can say they are used as a solvent for paint industry, then used for the manufacturing of many polymers. For example, we can take polyethylene, polypropylene, styrene, polystyrene, and so many other polymers even. Then they are used as a starting material for the manufacturing of dyes and drugs. So these are the important roles which hydrocarbon play in our daily life. Classification of hydrocarbons. The main types of hydrocarbons are saturated hydrocarbons, unsaturated, and third one is aromatic hydrocarbons. Clear children? So these are the three categories: saturated, unsaturated and aromatic hydrocarbons. First, saturated hydrocarbons containing carbon-carbon single bond. So they are also termed as alkanes containing carbon-carbon single bond. So chain of carbon atom, it can be open chain compounds or they can be closed chain compounds. So both cyclic as well as acyclic or open chain compounds. So two categories are there in saturated hydrocarbons. Unsaturated means carbon-carbon multiple bond, either double bond or triple bond. These are termed as alkenes and then alkynes. Further, alkenes may have open chain compounds or closed chain. Both options are there. Then we have aromatic hydrocarbons. It's a special class of hydrocarbons. These compounds, they have a specific typical order. So on the basis of that aroma term, they are termed as aromatic hydrocarbon. They are of two types, benzenoids and non-benzenoids. Benzenoids means containing benzene ring and non-benzenoids which doesn't contain benzene ring. So this is the broad classification of hydrocarbons. Now we will begin with saturated hydrocarbon, that is alkanes. General formula of alkanes: CN H2n plus 2, where n is number of carbon atoms in the chain. So in this way, by substituting the value of n here, we may derive the formulas of alkanes like methane, ethane, propane. This all things already we have done in previous unit. So still a recap of all these things. Then structure of alkanes, type of hydrogen. If we take methane, in alkanes, as carbon-carbon single bond is there, so type of hybridization is sp3. sp3 hybridization means tetrahedral geometry. Tetrahedral geometry with bond angle 109.5 degree. And in alkanes, carbon-carbon single bond length is 154 picometer. Value of carbon-carbon single bond length, that is 154 picometer. And then carbon-hydrogen bond length is 112 picometer. And alkanes, they are also termed as paraffins. Paraffins. This paraffin word is from Latin language. In Latin language, the meaning of param word is lite, and affins is affinity. Param means little, affins means affinity. So why this paraffin name was given? Because under ordinary conditions, they are almost inert substances. They doesn't react with acids, alkalis or other reagents. But yes, on providing specific conditions, they do take part in chemical reactions. So under ordinary conditions, as they doesn't take part in chemical reactions, that's why this name paraffin was given to alkanes. Nomenclature and isomerism of alkanes. Like if we take one carbon alkane, the word root is meth, so this is named as methane. For 2 carbon, word root is eth, so ethane. In this way, we can name off other higher homologues of alkane cells. Like if we start with C4H10, this is butane. Now, how many isomers of butane we can draw? The simplest one, we can take a chain of 4 carbon. Straight chain of 4 carbon. So this 4 carbon alkane is termed as butane. This is IUPAC name, and common name as it is a straight chain, so termed as N-butane. Second isomer, how do we draw its second isomer? Children, just reduce the chain length. Because here we have taken a chain of 4 carbon. Now take a chain of 3 carbon and then draw the another isomer. Like this one, CH3. The 4th carbon we can take in the side chain. This is. So now it's a chain of 3 carbon, and at second position methyl group is present. So its IUPAC name is 2 methyl, and then 3 carbon chain is propane. And its common name, as this is a tertiary carbon, because it is bonded with 3 other carbon atoms. So tertiary butane. Children, all these rules we had already discussed in detail in previous unit. So this is just a revision of those rules. If you don't remember, just go through those videos of IUPAC nomenclature. Similarly, we can draw the isomers of next higher alkane. Like if we take pentane, C5H12. How many isomers we can draw? Just try once. First option, straight chain of 5 carbon atoms. Like this is this one. Once you draw all the isomers, then we name those isomers. Second option, reduce the chain length. Now take a chain of 4 carbon and 5th carbon in the side chain. Now satisfy the valences of carbon by giving required number of hydrogen atoms. This is second option. Third option, we may further reduce the chain length. Now we take chain of 3 carbon atoms. 3 carbon chain and these 2 carbon in the side chain, and now we give hydrogen. Right? So these are the 3 possible isomers of pentane. And now what is the type of these isomers? As they have same molecular formula, but only they are different in their structure. So they are termed as structural isomers. And in structural isomers, further the categories are there. So as their chain length is different, that's why they are termed as chain isomers. So we can say alkanes, they show chain isomerism. So this is the type of chain isomerism under the category of structural isomerism. So name of this first compound, straight chain of 5 carbon atoms, pentane. This is IUPAC name and common name, and pentane. IUPAC, and this one is common name. Next one, according to IUPAC system of nomenclature, its name is 2-methyl and then 4 carbon chain is butane. So this is 2-methyl butane. Afterwards we write the common name also. First its IUPAC name, 3 carbon chain. On second position 2 methyl groups are there. So this is 2,2-dimethyl, and then 3 carbon chain is propane. Now they are common names. 4 carbon chain with 2 methyl groups are there. So this is isopentane. Isopentane. And this one is neo structure. Remember, this is neopentane, bonded with 4 other carbon atoms, 3 methyl, and 4th is also a carbon atom. And all these different isomers of pentane, their physical properties are also different. Like if we take pentane, the boiling point, if we compare their boiling points, boiling point of pentane, this is 309 Kelvin. Whereas 2-methyl butane, that is isopentane, its boiling point is 301 Kelvin. And 2,2-dimethyl pentane, also termed as neopentane, its boiling point is 282.5 Kelvin. So in this way, beta, if we compare these boiling points, we can easily judge that on decreasing chain length is decreased, the boiling point starts decreasing. So in isomers, boiling point is directly proportional to chain length, or we can say surface area. More is surface area, more chain length, higher will be the boiling point. So we will be using this rule also when we discuss the physical properties of alkanes. Methods of preparation. Of alkanes. first method is from unsaturated hydrocarbons, like from alkenes and alkynes. So first we prepare from alkenes. Preparation from alkenes like ethene. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons. So if we want to convert alkenes into alkanes, as we know alkanes are saturated hydrocarbon, so it is simply we need, what do we need? Addition of hydrogen to these unsaturated hydrocarbon. So this is alkene plus hydrogen in presence of certain catalyst like nickel, platinum or palladium. Unsaturation is removed and addition of one hydrogen takes place to each carbon. So this is a type of addition reaction and name of reaction is hydrogenation. Means addition of hydrogen. Similarly, we can prepare alkanes by using alkynes. Like second method, preparation from alkynes. If we take next higher member of hydrocarbon series, like if we take propine. Propine, as two double bonds are there, so we need two molecules of hydrogen. So there are two ways to write the reaction. Either we may write the reaction in two steps. First, presence of these catalysts, nickel, platinum or palladium. Triple bond is converted into double bond, alkyne into alkene, CH double bond, CH2. This is first. And then further addition of second molecule of hydrogen takes place under similar conditions. And now the unsaturation is completely removed and this is converted into propane. Or we may write this reaction directly like propine plus 2 moles of hydrogen, presence of nickel, platinum or palladium, giving us propane. So in this way, unsaturated hydrocarbon are converted into saturated hydrocarbon in presence of these catalysts. Nickel needs somewhat higher temperature, but with platinum and palladium, reactions they takes place at room temperature. So with platinum and palladium, these are the reaction conditions. The reaction takes place at room temperature. But with nickel, in presence of nickel catalyst, higher temperature is required, that is heating is required. Children, this is the symbol for we use for heating. Clear beta? I think this first method is clear to all of you. Second method from alkyl halides, that is RX. Again, there are two ways to convert alkyl halide or haloalkane. Alkyl halide is common name and haloalkane is their IUPAC name. First method, how do we convert haloalkane into alkanes? First we take general reaction RX. On treating with, we want to convert it into alkanes. So haloalkane is allowed to react with which substance beta? What do we use so that we convert it into alkane? We have to replace this halogen by hydrogen group. So on treating with hydrogen in presence of zinc and dilute HCl, this halogen is replaced by hydrogen. So we get the hydrocarbon, that is alkane, plus HX is released. So here now by changing the alkyl group, we can prepare any desired alkane. Like if we have to prepare methane, we will take one carbon group here. If we have to prepare ethane, we will take two carbon group at the place of this R. Similarly, by changing the chain length, we may get any desired alkane here. Like if we take CH3Cl, X can be chlorine, bromine or iodine. Hydrogen, presence of zinc and HCl. Thus chlorine is replaced by hydrogen. So we will get methane plus HCl. So this is first and very simple method to convert haloalkane into alkanes. Now second method, how do we convert haloalkane into alkanes? The second reaction is a named reaction termed as Wurtz reaction. In this method, we react haloalkane with sodium metal. Like first again I am writing general reaction for you, Rx plus sodium metal, second molecule, in presence of dry ether. Now just see beta how this reaction proceeds. What happens here? This sodium halide is removed. Okay, 2 moles NaX. Sodium halide is removed and we are left with 2 alkyl groups. So we get a higher alkane here plus 2 NaX. Means whatever is the original chain length, in product the chain length becomes double of original length, like R single bond R. So if it's a 1 carbon group, we will get 2 carbon group here in product. If it's a 2 carbon group, here we get a 4 carbon group. So these type of reactions are also termed as ascending of series. Means where chain length increases. In previous method, the chain length was same as that of reactant. Chain length of reactant and product was same in previous method. But here in product, the length is just double as that of reactants. Let us take one example. Like if we take CH3Cl, 2 moles of CH3Cl plus 2 Na in presence of dry ether as solvent. What happens? 2 NaCl is released and by joining of these 2 methyl groups, we will get ethane, CH3 single bond CH3, 2 moles of NaCl. So in this way, beta, I think one more thing is clear to you here, that this method is only used to prepare even number of chain length. Means ethane, butane, right? We cannot prepare propane here. Or more precisely saying, it's not that we cannot prepare odd number alkanes here. We can prepare but not in pure form. In that case, we will get the mixture of all possible products. But only the even number chain we can prepare in pure form. Like if we take the example, how do we get propane? So to get propane, as propane has 3 carbon atoms. So in reactant, we cannot take a pure alkyl halide. Here we need to take the mixture of CH3Cl plus C2H5Cl plus sodium metal, presence of dry ether. So now in this case, what happens? These 2 molecules, they not only react with each other, they may react with themselves also. Like if these 2 molecules, they react with each other, we will get a chain of 3 carbon. 2 plus 1, 3 carbon chain, that is propane. CH3, CH2, CH3. Odd number alkane is formed. But just check what else is also formed here. Like if this molecule will react with itself, we will get a chain of 2 carbon, because when it collide with itself, Already one carbon group is there, it doubles and we will get ethane plus. Next option, this molecule may react with itself. So by the collision of this molecule, as original group is 2 carbon, doubles forming butane C4H10. So in this way, if we want to prepare odd number alkane not possible in pure form, we will get the mixture of all possible products. So this was the second method to prepare alkanes by using alkyl halides. Third method, preparation from carboxylic acid, and name of method is decarboxylation. Meaning of decarboxylation is removal of CO2 group from carboxylic acid. What does it mean? Removal of CO2 group from carboxylic acid. So this is the meaning of decarboxylation. Again, two methods from carboxylic acid. First method, sodium salt of carboxylic acid, that is RCOONA, sodium carboxylate. On treating with soda lime. On treating with soda lime. Now what is this soda lime, children? Soda lime is actually mixture of, here I am writing what is soda lime. This is mixture of sodium hydroxide and calcium oxide in 3:1 ratio. This mixture is termed as soda lime. So sodium carboxylate on treating with soda lime gives you hydrocarbon equal to the length of this alkyl group RH plus, as this CO2 group is removed from carboxylic acid, that's why the method is termed as decarboxylation. And this type of reactions are used for descending of series. In previous example, we talked about ascending of series where chain length increased. This is descending of series. Meaning of descending of series means decrease of chain length. As in original chain, this one carbon was there which is missing in product. So in product, the number of carbon atoms are one less as compared to original chain length. So be careful about this thing. Like if we take sodium acetate, CH3COO, on treating with soda lime, in original compound 2 carbon length was there, but in product this group is released, that's why this is decarboxylation, and we get the product having length equal to this alkyl group, that is 1 carbon length only. So here we get methane with sodium carbon. So this is first method to convert sodium salts of carboxylic acid into alkanes. Second method from carboxylic acid is, it's a name reaction, Kolb's electrolytic method. Kolb's electrolytic method, or we may call it Kolb's electrolytic decarboxylation. How do we prepare alkanes here? In this case, the aqueous solution of sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acid, sodium or potassium salt of carboxylic acid, on electrolysis give us alkenes, but the condition is only those alkanes are prepared having even number of carbon atoms. Right, Peter? Condition of this reaction. What we do here? Electrolysis of aqueous solution of sodium or potassium carboxylate is carried out. After electrolysis, we get the alkanes with even number of carbon atoms. odd number alkanes are not prepared here. This is the limitation of this method. Now, we take the general reaction first. Sodium or potassium carboxylate, you can take RCOONA. It's aqueous solution during electrolysis. Again, this is also a method of decarboxylation. Decarboxylation means removal of CO2 group of carboxylic acid. So this CO2 group of carboxylic acid is removed. So alkane we get is this one, double of this alkyl is the alkane we get in this method. Also this is a case of ascending of series again. Chain length we get double of original alkyl group, not of original length. Plus the byproducts formed are CO2, NaOH and hydrogen. These are the byproducts of this reaction. Mechanism, before mechanism we take the example, like if I take sodium or potassium, any salt you can take, potassium acetate, on electrolysis of its aqueous solution, as I told you, double of this alkyl group is the product. So in this case we get ethane. Then we derive the byproducts. So this is second decarboxylation method for the preparation of alkanes. Now we discuss mechanism of this called electrolytic decarboxylation. So its mechanism now. During electrolysis, first dissociation of sodium carboxylate takes place. It will dissociate into acetate ion and sodium ion. Similarly, water is electrolyzed into hydrogen ions and hydroxyl ions. Now we will write the reactions taking place on the surface of anode and cathode. On the surface of anode, acetate ions, as they are anions, so anions they migrate towards anode. So on the surface of anode, acetate ions gets discharged by losing this electron. It will be discharged. So in this way here we get acetate free radical. We get acetate free radical. So one unshared electron is present on oxygen. Now as we discussed in basic concepts that these reaction intermediates, free radicals, are highly reactive species. Immediately this acetate free radical decomposes. This free radical decomposes and it liberates CO2 gas, decarboxylation, and giving us methyl free radical. Methyl free radical by the liberation of CO2 gas. Again, highly reactive species. These two methyl free radicals join together forming ethane. So in this way, alkanes are formed on the surface of anode. Now we will discuss the reaction taking place on the surface of cathode. That what reaction takes place on the surface of cathode. By the dissociation of water, we get hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ions. So the cathode, as it's a negative electrode, so cations, they moves on the surface of cathode, that is sodium ions and hydrogen ion. But as the discharge potential of hydrogen ion is less than sodium ion, so this hydrogen ion discharged in preference to sodium ion. So here hydrogen ion is discharged by gaining electron. So it will receive electron and gives us hydrogen free radical. Now, again highly reactive species, two free radicals combines giving H2. And sodium ion remains in the solution forming sodium hydroxide. So, these are all methods. By using these, we can prepare alkanes. Now, in this video, we talked about all basic parameters of alkanes as well as methods of preparation of alkanes. In next lecture, we will be discussing about physical and chemical properties of alkanes.